these things add up. You don't perform at the level they expect you to. You are late for meetings. You're speeding, especially when you're late for bowl games. That's a little disgraceful. And in the end, it's not looking good for Jadeveon Clowney. It won't hurt his draft stock, but it will hurt his image. And for him, I hope that he can right the ship, because this is not the direction you want to be going. The direction you want to be going in, heading towards the NFL.
Guys, I'm looking at this, and we may have just had some technical difficulties. I know we're back on air now, but that might have been for 6 minutes. Anyone, either one of you guys want to check on it, just check the soundbar, make sure that there were still airwaves going on for those past 6 minutes.
Yeah. I'll make sure, guys. Just wait 1 second.
I mean, this was an interesting point about Clowney, because we're talking about, you guys have
let's see if I can check.
As a broadcaster, I always have to give play-by-play of this situation. Porta going to the computer, pulling up the page, open the tab.
While we are waiting for that, we just got a call from Robert Dieters, who at perfect timing. Robert, thank you for being on. It's going good now that you're here. I say thank you for being on, and I have never meant that more. How are you doing, and what is your question?
I came back from LA, and I got to listen to a beautiful game. The Niners beat the Cardinals, and they played your beautiful Packers that they will demolish. Because the best game of the season came off Packers for the Niners.
Yes, and?
Is he expecting a comeback from me? Honestly, I don't see him.
So, is Clay Matthews going to be back in time?
Clay Matthews is out for the Clay Matthews has broken his thumb for the second time this season, so I think he's out.
I just got to ask, has Clay Matthews been thumb wrestling too much?
He has been. I mean, I've seen him at thumb wrestling tournaments. It's just too much. But you know what? He's a terrific thumb wrestler, and I applaud him for that.
This is what happens if you become a handyman. I don't care if it was a fake Fathead commercial. You put yourself at risk. Again and again, I'm tired of seeing players question their hearts. Clay Matthews, you need to get your head in the game. Because Clay Matthews is performing like a West High player right now. So, Dieters, knowing that Clay Matthews is going to be out, is there a point you're trying to get at here? I think I know what it is. I just want to make sure.
Well, you lose your best pass rusher, and if you do get Colin Kaepernick out of the pocket, it's hard for him to throw, so he has to run the ball. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is that Clay Matthews makes a big difference in that defense, especially against the Niners, against that O-line. And it's gonna be hard without Clay Matthews, especially because I think that he really pressures Colin Kaepernick in that pocket.
I completely agree. I think that the loss of Matthews is going to hurt. That really showed today. I think maybe things will be a little easier when Brad Jones is back. That was a surprise inactive today. This is a defense that worries me. This defense has continued to fail to show up to the big games. And after getting picked apart last year, I cannot confidently tell you that the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game. And I can't confidently tell you that the Niners are going to win this game either. I'm not going to come out and make a pick. Right, yet there's still research to be done, but I think that the matchup, if Kaepernick can manipulate the Packers' defense, he'll do well. But I think the bigger difference this year, the cornerbacks were playing well. My worry is, are they going to continue to give the ball to Frank Gore? Is Kaepernick going to be able to run the ball like he did last year? Because our run defense is really where we were hurt. We could not stop the run. And we couldn't against the Cowboys, and we couldn't against the Steelers. So if Frank Gore goes out there and has a big day, and the Niners have a great offensive line too, then the Packers are in trouble, and the Packers are going to have to, go into a shootout here.
Well, Jake, you look at the first week of the season, and I understand what you're saying, but they intentionally focused on the run. They allowed Frank Gore only 44-yard rushing. They shut down Colin Kaepernick, but then Colin Kaepernick threw for 412 yards. So I don't think we'll have that defensive day again, but Kaepernick has shown the ability to throw against the Packers' D that isn't phenomenal, and this is when we had most of our players healthy. it's going to be tough. I have that optimism. I think we can win. I think our offense is one of the best, if one of the best offenses when everybody's healthy. A combination of Lacey and Rodgers. And if this week is what people think we're going to be at, well, you're wrong. It's going to be a lot better come next week. But it's tough to pick against the Niners. And like you, Jake, I'm not going to make a pick yet. But I think both teams have a shot, though the Niners right now look more ready.
Yeah, the Niners are coming. These are two teams that seem like the teams of destiny. They're coming in red hot, and that can be very dangerous when it comes to the playoffs. And to be honest, I'm kind of sad to see that one of these teams is going to have to go. But it will come down to that. Dieters, I'm assuming that your pick is San Francisco.
No. We'll see. This is going to be a good game. Frank Gore, though, he got stopped today. I mean, he didn't have anything going for him today. Going off that passing game, and Anquan Bolden got hot, and I think that's what something the Niners look for, because when you look at it, in the beginning, he had double coverage written all over him. But Vernon Davis had some injuries. That really hurt the Niners. Now, Michael Crabtree, that makes a huge difference for this offense. I mean, that's another weapon you have to cover. But, I mean, there's got to be no injuries for this team. And I want to go back to last week for the Niners. They went against against Atlanta. And the reason why Vernon Davis did not catch anything is he actually got poked in the eye. So you didn't really see him out there for the passing plays. But, I mean, it was against Atlanta. So, I mean, we don't have to talk much about that. But if you look at it, one of those weapons is out, if you can get, at least two of the weapons out of that game against the Niners, the Packers defense can really stop them, you have a pretty good shot of winning this game. If you can stop Gore, stop Gore to, maybe 3 yards to carry, you're set. But it just depends how this defense does. You don't have Clay Matthews, your biggest pass rusher, which is really going to hurt you. But with Aaron Rodgers back, that makes a huge difference. I mean, the secondary has to really work on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we're both going to be excited for this game. Bragging rights on the line, and more importantly, a chance to move on in the playoffs. Thanks for calling in, Robert.
All right, thanks, Jake.
See you later. See you around. All right, well, there you go. A nice little debate. I wasn't expecting much modesty from either side yet. That's truly how neck and neck of this game might be. It's going to be fantastic, and we might see a repeat, if we're lucky enough, of Green Bay versus Arizona in 2010 wildcard round. Still the highest scoring playoff game to date, I believe. Noah, did we have technical difficulties during the Clowney segment, or are there still airwaves popping up there?
Well, it seemed like we were on. I could hear it. And so I think we're good. We will have to double check after the show just to make sure. If we did, that happens. But I think Jake, you can have confidence that it worked.
Confidence, or as
17 on the ball scout.
As Coach Woodson would say, it's probably not a technical difficulty.
I think it wasn't technical difficulty, but it may have been.
Well,
just like Jason said, he's losing the locker room now. Now, this is what I like. It's not. He might be losing the locker room. He is losing the locker room.
It's gone.
It's not like the Coke Zero commercials or all of those other commercials. It's better than nuts or bolts and all of that, or the Coke Zero and 0 calories. It's decisive. You know what it is. It's both of them. You are sure.
Was that just a rant about commercials and advertising?
I think it was.
I think it was. Look, I like that it's Blake and Noah, not Blake or Noah, because it's decisive that I know both of them are going to be there time in and time out, and they're not going to have to speed 84 in a 55 zone, because they had their heads in the game. They want to be there, and they will.
We are both there. Don't worry, guys. It's not Blake or Noah. You're not going to be sure which one's on. Every other show, I'm going to make a show Blake or Noah, and you won't be sure which one's going to be on. And then occasionally we'll just throw something else in the mix.
Dude.
Jake, you can host it one day, and it'll just not be Jake or Noah or other person.
This would be like a really interesting split between your fan base. Like, forget Team Edward and Team Jacob. Team Noah versus Team Blake.
Everybody join my
I would
side.
like to
What's that
officially.
football final against him?
Most shows we do start. I think we start hashtags like every other show we do. So I would officially like to start the hashtags for the show. Hashtag Team Noah. Hashtag Team Blake.
But that's for their show, not ours. We'll get there. We have to find it. The hashtag comes to us.
Well, that hashtag came to me.
Well, no, you went to that hashtag. You sped
Jake,
to it.
you
You went
hashtag-
84 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone.
Hashtag bad pun, hashtag Carl, hashtag Noah.
Got a hashtag.
Hashtag silence.
Hashtag less awkward silence. Hashtag noise. Hashtag segue. Hashtag playoffs. Hashtag regular season is hashtag done. Because hashtag John Kitna is a hashtag good guy. Yeah, did you hear about Kitna? He is donating his $41,000 salary for this game completely to the school that he now teaches at. So,
coaches at.
Kitna's a winner in our hearts, if you ask me. Playoff preview. Oh boy. It's finally here. I want to bring up some sound bites from earlier episodes. We'll get that queued up for next time. But I would like to point out that my pick at the beginning of the year was Seattle defeating New England in the playoffs.
Completely possible still.
And Carl, your pick?
My pick, which is still half possible-ish, I had San Francisco, and everyone's favorite team, who is now picking first overall, the Houston Texans.
Carl, what were you thinking?
I was thinking they were going to be as good as they were last year when they made the playoffs.
What? Pun.
Too hard. Try.
Hashtag feels so hard. Noah. Noah.
Technical difficulties again.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. No, I mean from my side. Like, I couldn't hear you. Not on the show. Don't worry, Jake.
Jake,
So what
you're
was
too
the
perfect to have technical difficulties.
I heard the Noah.
Look, I'm so perfect that I drive 55 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone, and I plan when I know that my collegiate team is hopping on a plane. Like, I don't need to kick off a plane full of Delta passengers so it can become my charter flight. I'm an organized person. Not really, but that's beside the point.
Well, you know what the first part of organized is? Organ.
Well, my organs are in place, so that's pretty good. Noah, what were we talking about? We were talking about
Playoffs.
The playoffs.
Who were your
Talking
teams?
about
Who were your teams before the season, Noah?
Playoffs.
Well, before the season, I was going with the Seahawks.
All right.
And I was going to go, here's the thing. At the very beginning of the season, I originally said, I wasn't really sure. I wanted to say the Broncos, but then I realized, Peyton Manning's record is horrific. So I decided to go with the Patriots, but I went back and forth between the Patriots and the Bengals for most of this year.
But at least your AFC team is alive and not already on the clock for the draft.
On the clock for the draft. I mean, I guess you could say that the Bengals are kind of on the clock. They're probably not going to make it past the next round, despite how I want them to win. It's just unlikely, but it's going to be tough. Texans didn't really suck, Jake. Thank you for saying that. That is a valid point. Their record was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad record.
14 games in a row. Houston.
It may have been bad, Jake. It may have
And they
been
started off so nicely.
My puns are too good to say Houston, we have a problem.
But Houston, we have a problem. My puns are bad enough to say that.
Alright, Carl, well, at least you could say that, but I refuse to do so. The playoff matchups are set. We're going to have Cincinnati hosting San Diego. We're going to have Indianapolis hosting Kansas City. The 1 seed is Denver, the 2 seed is New England. In the NFC, Philadelphia will host New Orleans. Green Bay will host San Francisco. Carolina's the 2 seed. Seattle is the 1 seed. I mean, are we really ready to make picks for these games?
No.
I don't think so either.
I think we need to do another Rookies Roundup sometime before next Saturday.
Perhaps the playoff picture special. You know what we could do? We could have Blake host it, and it could be us three, like around the horn style. Only with an understandable point system.
Blackistone, 3